Welcome back to the Gardening with Joey and Holly radio show. It's time for questions and answers. You've got a question? You can get a hold of us very easily. You can email us at gardentalkradio@gmail.com. That's gardentalkradio@gmail.com. Or if you'd like to jam your fingers in the phone and give us a ring-a-ding-ding, you can do that by calling 1-800-927 SHOW, 1-800-927-SHOW, toll-free, coast to coast, and we can get the question answered. If we can't get you on the show, leave a message. We will call you back. Had a number of questions come in this week, and we will start with Greg from Illinois. Holly?
So, no one has ever answered.
Greg from Illinois.
Greg from Illinois writes in, who listens via podcast? Hi, love this show. It's been super helpful. Last year was my first year gardening. This year I'm trying to start many of my plants from seeds. I have some pink plume celery started. They are in nutrient-dense soil and are in a tray that waters from the bottom. They are growing under a grow light for 16 hours per day, and I have a floor fan blowing on them. Many of the seedlings are still falling over. The light is probably 4 inches above the seedling. What could cause them not doing well?
Well, this sounds like a typical case of dampening off. Dampening off is a fungal disease that is in your soil because of oversaturation. What occurs is the fungal thing happens and it basically rots the stalk of the plant off at soil level. So a couple of things in which one can do is reduce the amount of watering in which you're doing. And secondly, you can sprinkle cinnamon right now at the time of planting. It doesn't matter, and you can water that cinnamon in whenever you're watering or bottom watering. It doesn't affect it. The cinnamon has antifungal properties, which will fight the dampening off fungus problem there. In addition, you may be getting soil gnats, and that cinnamon actually helps reduce the amount of soil gnats because of the fragrance of the cinnamon. So dampening off is the problem there. Too much moisture, add a little cinnamon, dusting of cinnamon across. Those that have fallen over are already gone. Try to save what you can, and you might have to start some new plants, but now we all know this is a trick that Callie Kim I got it from Callie Kim YouTube channel. She's over in Southern California. We've had her on the program last year. It's not proven by master gardeners or university, but it works for this application. Let's go over to the Boston area, Holly. TJ has a question that he's wrote in.
Sure. So my wife and I work together on Tuesday and Saturday. We listen to you on our way to work. We're looking for an accurate pH meter for testing our garden beds and lawn areas. We bought a 110-year-old house 4 years ago, and we were looking at improving the lawn for greener grass and garden beds for flowers only. We only plant perennials. There's way too much animal life for outdoor vegetables, and we both work 2 jobs. All of the reviews we have read suggest there is no accurate pH meters for any price, and testing strips are just as bad. They suggest that you send your soil samples to university for testing. Is this your experience as well? Love your show.
Well, we thank you for listening. TJ listens, and his wife listens to us on WCRN 830 AM out of the New England area. So this kind of, with a lawn, you're wanting a pH level between 5.8 and 7.2 for warm season grasses. Tolerate some warm season grasses will tolerate a little lower pH. White cool season grasses prefer slightly higher pH, but about a 5.8 to 7.2. Obviously, yes, you can do a soil sample, send it to your local university extension. They're going to give you an adequate reading of what your pH is and nutrient value of the soil. We've worked with a company before called Soil Savvy. They're out of the Pacific Northwest. You purchase the product through Amazon. You fill the vials up. You send it off. They email you back with a 16-point analyzation of your soil test. Now, there are soil meters that are available that do somewhat of a decent reading. Now, obviously, you pay for what you get. The El Cheapo model you bought on sale for $1.99 probably are not going to give you the adequate reading as something that is $40 or $60 or $100.
So this is what I would do. Is that since this house was just purchased and it's 110 years old, I would get my soil sample test done, and then I would buy a meter and I would then, before I make any changes, I would test my soil in various spots, mark that down, make the changes, and see kind of how it compares to what the university or whoever you send the soil test to, and then go from there and use that to calibrate. So say that the soil sample test came back and said your soil in your front yard is 5.8, and you buy yourself a decent soil tester and it says that your soil in your front yard is 6. That way you kind of have an idea.
Right, which most of these higher end ones have a variable of about 0.2.
Right.
So that would be kind of in that range.
Right. If it's way off,
Yeah.
then you at least know that too.
Right.
But that way you
send the soil tester back where you got it.
that way you're using your best resources, your best science, and you can go from
Invest in the initial soil test, and then invest in a good quality soil meter, a pH meter, and go from there. So that being said, hopefully that helps you. We got time for one more question here. So can you plant rutabagas in the spring, and if so, how soon? I just got some seeds the other day, and I want to plant them as soon as possible. Do they grow in the spring, and what has been your experience?
Sure. So you can plant them as soon as the soil warms up enough in your area. So it depends on where you live, obviously. Right. But once you're past that frost date, you can plant those seeds.
Well, you can plant those earlier because those are frost-tolerable plants. Rutabagas are.
But not too early.
No, not too early. Not if you're going to get 4 or 5 or 6, days of 18 degrees. That's not going to help you at all.
So, but right around your last average frost date, maybe like a week before.
Week or two before, based on, read the back of the seed packet. Now, can you plant them in the spring? Yes, you can. We've had one successful rutabaga harvest in the spring out of about 5 tries. So we plant them about the first week in August, and rutabagas take about 90 days to mature. So we're getting them early to middle of November. And we've had phenomenal success because as the days get cooler, the rutabaga grows better, and so does turnips. In the spring, as the day lengths get longer and the temperatures get warmer, that's a signal for the rutabagas and the turnips to go to bolt or seed production. So keep that in mind as well. Hey there, gardeners. Thanks for checking out this segment of the Gardening with Joey and Holly radio show. If you like what you've seen, you can search through the channel and find full in-studio videos of the entire show. If you want to go another route, you can search for it on your favorite podcast platform by searching the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener radio show or the Gardening with Joey and Holly radio show, and you can download it and take it with you. You can check out all past seasons at our website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, under the radio tabs at the top of the page. We thank you for joining us. We hope you've learned and enjoyed the show, the segment, and we'll see you next time.